Good evening, and thank you very much for joining us for this community meeting, January 17, 2025. My name is Thomas Schutz with the Public Information Shop here on the Palisades Fire. We switched up the format a little bit this evening based on some feedback we've gotten over the last couple days. So what we're going to do is give a briefing from our incident meteorologist. We're going to jump into our incident commander, who's going to give an ops overview and cover a lot of information. We're going to hear from our City of LA Emergency Operations Center, and then we're going to take questions and answers. So just a reminder, we have the chat on the side in YouTube where you can put your comments and let us know what questions you have. We're going to write those down, do our best to get them to the correct person to answer, and we'll do our best to answer as many questions as possible. We'll go ahead and kick things off with our incident meteorologist.
All right, good morning, or good evening, everybody. Rich Thompson, incident meteorologist with the National Weather Service, assigned to the Palisades incident. Weather-wise, today was a very typical mid-January day across fire. Had an onshore southerly sea breeze this afternoon, brought in some moderate to high humidity, so definitely cooler, more moist conditions, and a little bit your typical winds gusting about 15 miles per hour. We're going to expect those conditions to continue through the weekend, so all the way through Sunday, going to be that same pattern, that onshore flow, sea breeze, high humidity, so forth. So overall, very good conditions for firefighting efforts. However, going into Monday and for most of next week, there's going to be a return to the Santa Ana winds. Right now, it looks like generally a moderate event across the area, with the peak winds going to be anywhere from Monday night through Tuesday, and then Wednesday night into Thursday. As these Santa Ana winds do develop, they're going to bring in some very, very, very dry air with humidities in the single digits throughout the entire week. So therefore, we do have a possibility of critical fire weather conditions all the way from Monday through Friday. So currently right now, we do have a fire weather watch in effect for this area from 10 a.m. Monday until 10 p.m. Tuesday for the possibility of those critical fire weather conditions. So again, a fire weather watch from 10 a.m. Monday through 10 p.m. Tuesday. And those Santa Ana winds and those dry conditions are going to continue Wednesday into Friday. But right now, we'll have that possibility, and possibly that watch may need to be extended and so forth. Right now, it's in effect till 10 p.m. Tuesday.
Next up, Palisades Fire Incident Commander Lonnie Olson.
Good evening, everyone. Lonnie Olson, one of your unified incident commanders here on the Palisades incident, along with Los Angeles City Fire Department, Los Angeles County Fire Department, Los Angeles Sheriff's Department, and the LAPD. For incident update, we have 23,713 acres. The fire is now at 39% containment. There are over 4,700 personnel assigned, and that includes over 680 pieces of fire suppression equipment. Our crews continue to strengthen the control lines along the perimeter, as well as search and destroy any hot spots that are within the fire perimeter. For structure damage, the update as of this evening is 3,798 structures destroyed. Of that, we have 3,186 homes confirmed. Over the last 48 hours, we were able to do some repopulation outside the fire perimeter in and around the communities, and that allowed over 26,000 Angelenos to return home as of this afternoon. For our repop, I want to do a good explanation of our process. So there's a lot of questions of when you can return home and why is it taking, or how long is it, as we try and work through that. I can tell you our entire unified command team is 100% committed to getting you returned home, and we're doing everything possible. That is the conversation and the coordination that consumes our days right now, to make sure we are allowing every efficiency and creating every efficiency to get you back into your homes. So I'll give you an explanation on how the process works. For those that were outside the fire perimeter and the considerations that we took, if you remember a couple nights into the fire, we had that wind shift. We went from the offshore flow to the onshore flow, and we had that flare up in the Mandeville Canyon area. Those are exactly the kind of things that we're looking at and taking precautions to make sure that we have buttoned up before we allowed you back into your houses. Come the last 48 hours, we had that same event. We had the Santa Ana's return, then we had the onshore flow. We had to go through that wind testing process to make sure we were 100% sure that we were going to be able to safely return to your homes, and we were slowly able to do that over the last 48 hours. As for those within the fire perimeter, we have a long road ahead. So I want to kind of describe some of that process to you and some of the work that is going on in coordinated efforts to make sure we can return you back to those areas as soon as possible. So first, our damage inspection teams have to go out and do an inspection and create a document that allows you that documentation for your home on what the damage level is within your home. So if there's over 50% damage, they're going to call it destroyed. If there's less than that, they're going to call it damaged. And then at a lot lower percentage, they're looking at what they'll call a minor, and that'll be the report that you will see on the multiple websites that we have available providing you that information. On top of that, we have 6 USAR teams out in the area performing search patterns. Not only are they looking for missing person reports, but they're also identifying hazards within the area so that not only when we allow our other cooperators to enter the area, it's also deemed safe and at least identifies the hazards when we allow you guys back into the area. There's also an active investigation going on into what has started the fire, and that does have some constraints, and we have to allow that process to work and make sure that they get every opportunity to find out what caused the fire. Our utility companies will then enter the area and do what we're called a make safe. We're not asking them to go in and restore every piece of infrastructure. We're asking them to go into the area and make the area safe for you and for our public safety and cooperators to return to the area to restore those essential services. That includes all of the utility companies and both our Public Works and Caltrans to go and restore the roads and make sure that they're safe to drive on, as well as remove any hazardous trees in the area. Then we have to get our building and safety into the area, and they have to go through and tag all of those structures that may be deemed unstable or unsafe to rehabitat. And then our public safety has to evaluate things like the air quality, the water quality, and there's also the concerns about hazardous materials, electric vehicles, solar battery packs, those kind of things. They have to go in and we have to exclude those areas, and then we have to identify them. Both our Los Angeles City Fire Department and Los Angeles County Fire Department hazmat teams are going to have to engage in that and make sure that those areas are excluded or we remove the hazards so that you can return there safely and we don't return you to a dangerous environment. That concludes our update for the incident. Thank you, and ensure that we are working tirelessly to return you to your homes.
Next up, City of Los Angeles Emergency Operations Center, Jennifer Lazo.
Good evening. My name is Jennifer Lazo, and I'm with the Emergency Management Department of the City of Los Angeles. The Emergency Operations Center remains activated at Level 1 in order to ensure that all of the city departments and city agencies are working together seamlessly to help plan for the response and recovery to these devastating wildfires. Tonight I'm going to share a few of the different resources that are available to you as you go through the recovery process. The first are ones that you can find online at the LA City website, lacity.gov. Then when you're on lacity.gov, click on the link Los Angeles Wildfire Recovery, and you'll find a variety of resources available for you that you can go use from wherever you are. That includes different forms of assistance, damage assessment claims, and information on how to notify us of lost pets in the evacuation area. But oftentimes we find it can be much more effective to actually talk to people in person in order to get your questions answered. And that is why the Disaster Recovery Center has been opened in Westwood. It is located at 10850 Pico Boulevard at the UCLA Research Park. And this center has more than 75 agencies present that can help you find the variety of resources that will help you begin the recovery process. This includes FEMA, the SBA, many different state agencies, county agencies, and city agencies. It's a one-stop resource center where you can replace lost vital records like birth certificates, death certificates, and your driver's license. You can get resources on how to make your home livable, such as cleaning up ash and restoring utilities. The Department of Water and Power and SoCal Gas are both present at the center. And you can apply for disaster relief loans and different kinds of financial assistance from both public and nonprofit organizations that can cover things like your current living expenses, food, clothing, and housing. You can replace medication, get mental health counseling, get assistance for your business, or if you were an employee who lost work due to the fire, you can get assistance with that. And since it's open, more than 1,100 households have come through so far. Also, it can be a bit overwhelming with 75 agencies there. You do not need to get it all done in one day. You can come back again and again as your time allows. We do have some childcare resources there as well, so we have a safe place for your kids to be while you have these conversations with the various agencies there. So thank you so much.
That concludes our presentation portion. We're now going to move into the question and answer. So we've been taking down your questions that you've submitted online, divvying out to the person that we think should be able to answer it to the best of their ability. Forgive a little bit of lag time. This is happening in real time, so we're going to bring folks up and do our best to answer as many questions as possible.
So our first question is, will large evac zones be split to enable a quicker reentry? And the answer is yes, 100%. If we have the ability to cut out small pieces of community that we are deeming safe, we will do everything we can to return you to your home as quickly as you can, and that includes splitting up the evacuation zones.
Good evening, everybody. Christian Litz, Operations. This question is, are firefighters still working throughout the night? The answer is yes. The majority of our resources are still working a 24-hour shift when they go out to the line, so they're out there throughout the night. We still have aircraft available to them if they do find any isolated heat sources, and they still have the IR capability to find those heat sources throughout the day, and they can have them on their maps, and they'll go directly at those sources. Thank you.
So the next question that we received is there a process for residents to enter and search for any heirlooms or family heirlooms or any surviving family heirlooms? And the answer is yes. This is one of the things that we do and why we allow residents to enter first back into those property and into those areas is for that very reason, so that you can go in, and we're looking to find opportunities to provide you with some tools and assistance, and we'll work through both the Office of Emergency Management and the Emergency Management Department to try and provide you with some stuff to assist you in that process. But yes, there will be an opportunity for the homeowners to return and try and sift through and find their belongings.
Last one is on if the roadblocks are down.
Good evening. I'm Captain Mike Lorenz with the Los Angeles Police Department. One of the questions is, if roadblocks are down, can anyone enter? As far as we know, any of the ingress or egress into the evacuation areas, there should be officers and National Guard posted in those areas. If the roadblocks are gone, you can assume that those roads are going to be okay to drive through, as far as we know. But right now, the entire evacuated area, specifically the burn zone, is fully secured by National Guard, working in partnership with Los Angeles Police Department.
Okay, we appreciate everybody joining us. One of the benefits of doing this nightly is that we're hopefully able to stay on top of your questions. One of the big ones is always about evacuations, and so we want to really encourage folks to download the Genesis app. It's spelled GENASYS. It's a really quick and easy way to see which zones are still in the evacuation order area, which are in the warning, and which have been been reduced back to normal. one of the challenges in any incident is really getting that information out to you. And so we do news releases to get that information out. We push it through multiple social media channels. We have the Cal Fire Palisades Fire website, fire.ca.gov, and you can go to the Palisades Fire. But one of the other great ways is by downloading the free Genesis app. You can set it for notifications so you find out right away what's going on. So again, download it through your cell phone, Genesis, GENASYS, and that'll help keep you up to date on the latest evacuation zones. We appreciate everybody joining us. Please continue to follow all the official channels for more information, and we'll see you again tomorrow night at 6:30. Thank you.